I'm still cafe.
U fl-aħħar taqsima tagħna llum ser nerġgħu nżuru lix-xef u awtriċi tal-ktieb Traditional Sweet Recipes from Malta, Sharon Spiteri. Iżda din id-darba ser nidħlu fil-kċina ma' Sharon u ser turina kif nagħmlu torta tal-marmurat.
I decided about 5 years ago to create my own sweet recipe cookbook. Several reasons. One, I found it very, very difficult over my whole lifetime to find consistent quality recipes. So I wanted to make sure that I could actually publish something with quality. But secondly, I wanted to present Malta in a way that does it justice and I could feel proud because every single book that I have, and I do have quite a few, of Malta, I just love because I miss Malta all the time. So I wanted to do Malta justice and I want people to feel like they've got a piece of Malta at home.
Now, are these recipes your mother's authentic recipes, or did you just tweak them a little bit to make them your own?
Great question. Some are mum's. The rajata, the very last recipe at the back,
rajata.
is mum's. She used to make that every summer. There has been a lot of tweaking, quite a bit actually. Some I haven't. The tal-marmurat honey rings I haven't. There are some recipes in there that I've never seen printed before in a Maltese cookbook. Pretty up to speed with what's out there. So there are points of difference within the book, but it's very easy to follow. They're quality recipes and everything's beautiful in colour.
Is there anything that sets Maltese sweets apart from sweets, I don't know, in Australia or around the world?
Very good question. I think a lot of our cuisine, and we are speaking specifically of sweets, is very much generated from, I think, an Italian influence. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I've noted that quite a bit in the book. Per esempio, for example, we have il cannoli, we have, I put cassata siciliana actually in the book because I've seen it over the island for decades and I thought it needed recognition. Pasta frolla, that's actually pasta napoletana in Italian. So I think predominantly a lot of our influence is from Italy. It does feel European, but then we have the Arabic influence. We have the date slices, the
Im'aret, yes.
And albeit nougat is very popular all over Europe. And actually it's very interesting. Since I was 20, so it's a few decades ago now, I've always wanted a beautiful nougat recipe because it was always my favourite. My father used to travel there every year in the month of August, and without fail, he would bring me back the white nougat, the Maltese nougat. So it actually was one of my early ambitions to get something just perfectly right, and I have it, and it's in the book. It's beautiful.
Now today you are making something very special for our viewers. Tell us more about what you're making today.
Thanks so
and is
much.
it your mother's recipe after all?
It's not.
It isn't.
It's actually from one of her, let's say, collections that I've actually tweaked down the track and recently. It's a chocolate and almond tart, better known as torta tal-marmurat in Maltese. And I wanted to create something that not only was nice, but something that's very straightforward and simple to do. We've actually got 3 parts. We have the sweet pastry, then we have the filling, and then we've got the icing. So we'll start first of all with the sweet pastry. Really simple. We have 200 grams of plain flour, which I've already sifted into this bowl. 125 grams of butter at room temperature, 50 grams of caster sugar, and 1 egg. So I'll just start quickly by incorporating the caster sugar and the egg. Give that a very light beat. Try and dissolve that sugar into the egg. I'll just place the butter into the flour. So I'm just going to incorporate that together, rub in the butter into the flour. Basically, I'm going to rub it in really finely so that it resembles fine breadcrumbs. I'm going to create a well into the centre, and just before I add the egg and sugar, I'm just going to beat that again. In it goes. So that's basically just combined, just there, and that's all that we want to do. So all that I'm going to do is put a very light dusting with flour on that, and that's done. And the reason for that is because you don't want to overmix the dough. Because if you do, you end up with a tough dough, and we want something that's beautiful and melt in the mouth. So now with the pastry out the way, which was quite straightforward, we've allowed that to rest in the fridge for half an hour. And it's very important to rest it so that it won't shrink when we bake. So I've actually used a 20 centimetre flan ring with a removable base. So the first step after that is to actually have some jam. Now that's taken straight out of the jar. So I'm working that out to eliminate any lumps, so it's nice and smooth, and I can just evenly apply it in the pastry. It's as simple as that. But just spread that evenly all towards the end, and this not only adds a bit of sweetness but also moisture to the tart, which is lovely. Now the next step is really easy, so it's adding all the ingredients together. So we've got 200 grams of ground almonds, 100 grams of brown sugar. Now this contains 30 grams of finely chopped chocolate and 1.5 teaspoons of cocoa powder. 50 grams of crushed biscuits. Any biscuits look Marie, digestive. My husband's a chocolate fanatic, so I've actually used choc chip today. From here, I've basically got 1 egg. Just incorporate that in. Now, within my book, I haven't stipulated in any alcohol, but I'm actually going to put a bit of brandy in there today. So as you can see, it's coming together. So it's not a very wet tart. And I'm actually going to put in a smidge of vanilla too today. So basically, I'm placing the filling into the tart, and I'm just doing it incrementally so I don't actually tear the pastry. So I've levelled that off, and as you can see, it's actually quite moist. So that goes into a moderate oven for about 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. So the tart's now come out of the oven. It's beautifully cooked. It's perfectly cooked. It's nice and golden. Now the icing that we're using today is a ganache. So it's just chocolate and cream. So I've got 120 grams of finely chopped chocolate that I've melted down, and then I've placed 70 ml of cream into that so that I've actually heated up. I'm actually just going to spoon a bit over the tart. So I've just created some fans and some curls. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to place some fans in a circular fashion. Fans and curls because it creates a bit of drama and it creates a bit of height. And it just looks a bit more special. Voila! Torta tal-marmurat, chocolate and almond tart. I hope you enjoy. I do have a website. The website is www.traditionalmaltesesweets.com. So you can actually purchase the book from the website. It's $24.95. There are some interesting facts about myself. There's a bit of history, but I really appreciate everyone joining us today, and I appreciate you coming here today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
U b'dik ir-riħat fuq ta' torta tal-marmurat niġu fit minn programm ieħor ta' Maltese DownUnder. Aħna nieħdu pjaċir nisimgħu minn għandkom għalhekk ibatulna email fuq maltesetv@gmail.com jew inkella għamlu kuntatt magħna fuq il-paġna tagħna fuq Facebook Maltese DownUnder. Jiena Marlin nixtieqilkom is-saħħa u nagħtikom appuntamenti ieħor għal bħalhom ġimgħa fl-istess ħin.